what's up?
Welcome back to the Ninkolegy podcast. So, this episode we're having, I guess you could say it's sort of like a more personalized discussion?
Yeah.
I don't know, more personalized about us, I guess. So, go ahead and tell them what it's about.
Personal thoughts? Question mark?
Yeah, it's sort of like personal thoughts. I don't know, I'm sort of like the one that, sort of thought up with this when I was coming up with, an idea I could possibly make for a video. And then I told him about it, and I guess we sort of thought it could be used for a podcast. So you can go ahead and go first, and you tell us,
Specific
your thoughts.
topic about our thoughts.
No, just your thoughts on what you have, just daily, I guess, or just thoughts you have, anything. If you want to go by what the original thought train I had, it's just random conversations I have with myself.
Right.
That's what the
I have
original,
those all the time.
That's what the original thought.
We're not crazy, we swear.
Was. Yeah, we're not crazy.
We have those all the time.
We're not diagnosed as psychopaths.
we have those all. We have versions, so we're not psychopaths.
That would be sociopaths.
Shush. I do them.
Go on. Just go on.
So yeah, you were talking about having conversations with yourself.
Yeah, I gave you, or at least I told you that I had that sort of idea because a YouTuber that I knew did that sort of thing. It wasn't really the exact same thing, but it was that sort of thing about just telling his subscribers random thoughts he had on not a daily basis, but just sort of doing it every so often. It wasn't a long-lived series, but it was a funny series for what it was because he just had the randomest thoughts. And it was really funny to see for the few episodes it had.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be funny to see with all my random conversations I have and occasional random thoughts I have to see what one video would be like. But then I thought it'd be a cool idea for a podcast. So, any random or weird conversations you have with yourself?
Some of them are too weird to be put on YouTube.
Obvious. I feel like we both have those types of conversations.
Some of them would get this video taken down.
I mean, I feel like we all have those.
Nice.
Whether they're...
No, don't.
I don't have to elaborate.
No, I'm not finding out what to watch this summer.
Let's just say whether they're R-rated or 18+ rated, it doesn't matter.
Right.
We can't elaborate.
Right. Now they're gonna be curious.
They don't have
Coming to OnlyFans.
We don't have one. But whether they're either, it doesn't matter because they don't know our personal lives. Aside from the people who know us that watch.
Overthinking is what I do a lot.
I don't think I think at all. Aside from the times that I actually do think. So basically, I don't overthink. Until I do think. In which case, my thinks just go insane.
I overthink a lot. It's honestly bad for me.
Okay. Is that why it takes you so long to pick up a single item in Apex?
Actually, no.
Is it just hesitation then?
Yes.
Well, in Apex you need to be fast, so. Back to the topic, though. So can you, mention even a single one of these conversations that you could mention that sticks out?
Well, the constant fear of being alone.
The constant fear of being alone?
That is what normally is all of my overthinking pours into.
Okay, that's overthinking, but I'm talking about those long driven conversations that we just have with ourselves in our head. That was the thing I was talking about.
Usually,
Not just overthinking.
Usually, like, say someone dissed me in the past.
Uh-huh.
Usually, I just think of a comeback, even though that time was over. So, like, I'm actually actively having that same argument in my head.
It's just like 5 years ago, you suck. So like, oh man, this guy may be dead, but I gotta roast him.
So does your mom.
Just like, and you swallow. Hey, it's like this guy was a war veteran and he's dead now. He died of throat cancer and leukemia.
What is going on?
It's just over exaggerations, but you get my point.
Okay, what about you?
So I do this all the time, like I told you. When I was telling him about it, I told him that I have it basically on a daily basis whenever I'm trying to sleep. Like when almost every time I go to sleep, I will have probably on average a 5 to 10 minute dialogue with myself about almost any random thing. And 99% of them, well, maybe like 90 to 95% of them, are so unimportant that I can't even remember them the day I wake up. So, like, if they're that unimportant, why do I have these long dialogue trees with myself? Like, typically like, normally they're about passionate things. Like, sometimes they're about things I do, like YouTube, or about things I'm actively on, like games or Twitch. Typically, they're about things like that sometimes as well. But sometimes even those will just like disappear from my mind the next day. Those long dialogue trees.
Right.
So like, why is my mind make? Like, it's not really making me. But why am I having these long dialogue trees with myself if I'm just gonna forget them?
Exactly.
And if it's not gonna affect my life because it's with myself.
Right.
It's not like I'm actually talking to another person, and I doubt I'm gonna have some revolutionary thought where I'm like, yes, I need to do this thing. Like, I know I'm a creative because I've been doing stuff for 10 years that basically makes me know I'm a creative, and I like to think I'm a good improviser. So I can understand why I have this problem. But the fact that this happens is just odd to me. And almost none of them can stick out in my mind. Perhaps it's just because,
Are there any that stick out?
No. Perhaps it's because there's just way too many. Because like I said, it happens basically on a nightly basis, but still. Because not only do they happen basically on a daily basis when I'm trying to sleep, but sometimes they happen while I'm on my computer and trying to do things. Because like I'll be trying to write stuff down, or like I'll be trying to watch videos, and I'll be like going on these dialogue trees. And sometimes they won't even have to be doing with what I'm doing or what I'm watching.
Right.
Typically, if I'm playing a game, it has to do with that. Because that makes a lot more sense, and it'd be a lot harder to go off on a dialogue tree that does not have to do with what I'm currently focusing on.
Right.
But still. So, I don't know if this is like sort of related, but do you have like a problem? Not a problem.
I have problems, yes.
Everyone has problems. If you don't have a problem, you're a liar. But do you have like the case where you can find yourself able to persevere and like do things longer on stuff you enjoy more than that of stuff you do not enjoy? Like you can endure them for longer. In terms of like literally anything that it is. Yeah, because I feel like that's just basic stuff. Because like in terms of like Fury, or especially in the terms of fact of Kingdom Hearts, I can fight it like the super bosses in Kingdom Hearts for literally hours on end and be losing, not even finish one. But, excuse me. There was a time where I was fighting one super boss, just one, for hours on end. It took me over 6 hours to beat, and I persevered to beat it. And yet, there have been times where I have quit and probably not even being a 50th of a rage game in 30 minutes. I know rage games are designed to be rage games, but still, rage games have their tactics too.
Exactly.
Exactly. Like, do you have any examples of this?
Uh, ones that can go unnamed.
Ones that can go unnamed.
Yeah,
Like?
like I said, they don't have names.
So you don't have any examples that can go named.
At least not for YouTube.
Why is that?
I don't know, actually.
You don't know.
I don't. I mean, I believe YouTube would be okay with it, but am I okay with it? Probably not.
So it's literally just because you're not okay with it.
Yeah.
The staring contest isn't helping anything.
No, it really isn't. I mean, it doesn't really provide content.
Yeah, don't throw things while we're in the middle of a podcast. So I'm sure some of you are probably wondering what this game is that we're using as background footage.
Nice, dude.
So I'm sure one of you watching, maybe not,
Maybe
knows
not.
what the Flash game, The Perfect Tower, is. It's a game that was, I believe, developed, I don't know, published. One of those two, perhaps both, by Fire Studios. And it was a pretty good Flash game, kind of grindy, but a lot of Flash games that are incremental are. And it was basically like this tower defense idle hybrid type game, where a tower defends itself from a bunch of enemies that swarm all around it, kind of like this. And what's going on is that I believe a bunch of fans or a studio, maybe it's a bit of both, is helping Fire Sword Studios. I got the name wrong the first time. I just remembered. Fire Sword Studios help create the Perfect Tower 2 on Steam, and right now it's in early access, and it's expanding at an alarming rate. There's like what, an update every 1 or 2 days, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's going really well. I really like what the Perfect Tower 2 has in store so far. And honestly, it's astonishing just how much content is in the game for an early access title.
Right.
Like, I was
I haven't
actually
even
astonished
finished.
for how much content was in. I mean,
I
there's
think
only so much content you could say is in the Perfect Tower for a Flash game, because honestly, it's just like unlocking all of it, because it's mostly the same. Because there's not really different maps. It's just different stuff you can get, and becoming as powerful as you can. But I'm honestly astonished at just how many like different regions, modules, tiers, actual different stuff is in the game now.
right.
Like, I'm honestly astounded at how different it is, and just how much stuff there can be,
I'm
and
not
honestly
even.
just how different the game could be once it's fully developed.
I'm not even done like with all the early
Yeah,
access stuff.
I'm more behind than he is. Like, this
And
is footage
I have
that he's getting.
I have almost 200 hours in the game.
Yeah, I'm sure we're both near that much hours. But like, I'm further behind than he is by a full tier in the game, and I'm the one who introduced him to the game. to be fair, I've been focusing on different stuff than him. I haven't been focusing on tiers. I've been focusing more on expansion. But you guys can understand what we mean by that if you go and play it. The
Right.
early access is free, but I believe they plan on making it not free when it is fully developed. But I don't see that becoming a problem for a long while. And I believe if you have the game in your library when it becomes full access,
You might get something for it.
maybe. I believe if you have the game in your library when it becomes full access, you might be able to get the full game for free. I'm not sure, but we'll just have to see when that time comes. So don't quote me on that. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't with games like this.
Right.
But yeah. So I mentioned earlier that you, and obviously me, have been playing Apex.
Yes.
Do you want to elaborate on that for them?
Apex Legends. Good game.
That's not exactly the elaboration I was
I
hoping for.
suck.
That's more the elaboration I was hoping for. But still not entirely it.
I freaking suck.
Not even close. I was more talking about elaborating on what Apex is, because some people might not know.
Apex Legends is a battle royale.
Apex Legends is a futuristic battle royale game that takes place in 2060. Not 2060. 260. I'm just kidding. It takes place in 2060.
I'll read the description.
But yeah, it's a futuristic battle royale FPS.
Apparently it's a mobile game.
It is on mobile, and I don't understand why.
Apex Legends is a free to play.
Free to win, yes.
Free to play battle royale hero shooter game. Developed by Electronic Arts.
Yes, EA, the same people that make games like Assassin's Creed
The Sims.
and The Sims.
You know, those buggy games.
Yeah, you know games where you can climb into the sky and escape reality? Well, they made this. Almost an Epic Legends.
Epic.
Apex.
Good old Apex.
Blind.
Epic Legends.
Apex Legends, that's it.
Yeah.
They made this. They're not what's on screen, Apex Legends. Obviously.
Right.
Maybe we'll do a video on it for like a collaborative thing.
Yes, sir.
Don't yes sir me.
Anyway, I have 5 kills and a win, which I got hard carried.
How many total kills do you have, do you know?
I just had 5 kills.
Oh, that's your total lifetime kills and you're almost level 20? At like level 20 you can get a new character, that's sad. At level heck, before level 20 I had over 16 kills. Because I got that many kills in Season 8. And that's the season I was introduced in. I didn't even play it in Season 9.
I first downloaded the game in Season 2. And that's why I have 1 kill in Season 2.
You first downloaded the game basically when it came out. And you haven't touched it since?
I have 1 kill in Season 2, and that's it.
That's honestly disgusting.
I played for 45 minutes. And
You're basically an OG.
I played for 45 minutes and deleted the game.
I feel like if OG players heard you say that, they'd be disgusted.
I had a different computer and it was like absolutely destroying my thing. And then my driver.
It still destroys your computer. What are you talking about? You get random lag spikes.
No, it's not.
What's that?
Not as bad as you think.
No, it still does.
Well, it does it when I play by
Maybe it's just Olympus that does it, but it still does it.
Whenever me and you are playing duos or something, it doesn't lag.
Maybe it's just randoms.
Anyway,
randoms cause your game to lag for some reason.
Anyway, part of the reason why I deleted it, actually, this is mostly the reason, because my computer's drivers just immediately got outdated and I didn't know how to update them.
because when you were, what, 10 years old, you didn't know how to update stuff?
Right.
And you didn't have our older brother to help you out
Until like
a year later?
last Christmas.
That's not a year later, but okay. We weren't reintroduced until just after a year later.
I know.
We're still recording, by the way. You can't just take silent pauses like that.
Well, it's because my mind goes blank.
Yeah, but that's why you gotta improvise, man. We're still talking about Apex.
Oh yeah, Apex. You know that game that has.
You know that game that we were just talking about?
Yeah, it's a free to play battle.
It's a free-to-play battle royale hero shooter.
With 60 players per lobby. Choose between your favorite modes of.
Oh yeah, it has arenas.
Yeah, which is
Arenas play kind of like CS:GO.
Yeah, they're like fast-paced games.
But they also play exactly like battle royale. And the fact that, except the fact that they're shut in smaller areas.
Right. It like takes a small area out of the battle royale map and just shoves you in.
Aside from one map, I believe, which is, I believe, its own unique map to arenas. I'm not entirely sure on that. I'm not an experienced player. I'm only like double his level. But I have a lot more hours. But even still, I'm not extremely familiar with all of the maps. And obviously, therefore, I have not ran around. Huh?
I think there's only 4 arena maps.
Yeah, there's only like 4 arena maps as of right now.
Isn't it like
and there's only like 4 actual maps. But the 4 actual maps are huge. You got to keep that in mind, and they have a bunch of sub areas.
I believe the biggest one is World's Edge.
No, well, they're all about the same size.
I know this is like tiny.
It's a space station, but they're all about the same size relative to each other. You got to keep that in mind.
Right.
If they're all different sizes, it'd be pretty noticeable. I feel like you just feel like World's Edge is the biggest because it has an actual set of cities in it, fragment in that one area.
Yeah.
So it just looks like it's the biggest. Like it has fragment, that one other city area that I don't.
That's how new arena mode is.
What is it?
April 21st is when arena mode came out this year.
It must have came out when season 9 launched then, because season 8 has only been out for like a couple weeks. Or not season 8. Jeez, season 10.
Right.
Because season 10 has only been out for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, there's like 80 days left in the season.
It's more like 70, but yeah. So it must have came out like mid to early season 9.
Yeah. Which, in that case, if it's a pretty new mode.
Yeah, assuming that I just don't know the maps, it's completely possible that all the arenas, or all the arena maps rather, have a certain area to themselves.
Yeah.
Because I know World's Edge, and what's that called? I can't think of it for some reason.
Oh, what's the map look like?
No, the arenas map, World's
Yeah,
Edge. And Phase Runner, that's it.
Yeah.
Both have actual parts to other maps that exist in Battle Royale.
Right.
I want to say the Party Crasher, aka what people call Mirage Voyage, also has a map section in Kings Canyon, but I'm not entirely sure where that is because I haven't seen it personally. But if Meltdown, the other arena map, does, I have never once seen an area even remotely similar to that. The only section I could think that it is the temperature gate section that Ian showed us, our
Possible.
big brother. And
Possible.
even then, it does not look similar to that area. And if it is that area, it's just not that specific area.
Possibly after this, I'm gonna go looking for it. Isn't that one that has like that slope?
It's that well, the actual arenas map is, but temperature gate in the battle royale is that giant lava area with like the cylinder and then the 3 sections going down.
What map?
I want to say Kings Canyon, but it could be World Edge. And I know it's one of those two because obviously Olympus is a space station in the sky.
Yeah. I don't think there'd be lava up there.
It's obviously one of the 2 maps with lava on it, so it has to be Kings Canyon or World's Edge.
Right.
I want to say it's more likely Kings Canyon. Personally, I'm leaning more towards World's Edge because it's more diversified in like climate stuff. But World's Edge has the other arena thing, so it could be Kings Canyon.
Nice.
All right. So, any other topics you were thinking about talking about? Let's try and get it back on the subject of personalized. It drifted again.
Yes, it did.
I mean, I guess Apex is a bit personalized. We've been playing it a lot.
Right. Maybe a bit too much.
So, do you have any topics or not?
No.
Use that overthinking brain of yours.
And it's not creative.
Don't get snippy with me. So, are you going to be working on any new albums? What type of albums?
I have an EP coming late 2022. You're welcome.
Just what I wanted. Wait a full new year.
Actually. It's sometime in 2022. It's only 5 songs long.
So only 5 songs long. In that case, it better come out in January.
You really think?
Yes.
6 months.
I demand
6 months between albums.
Yes. 5 songs sounds like a perfect demand of 6 months.
You forget I recorded 20 songs in under 15 days.
And I expect it to be out by tomorrow.
Doable, but I'm not doing that. Because they'd be released too close to each other.
Well, I never said you had to release them like that. I just said you have to release the EP tomorrow.
Well, I have already created the playlist and adjusted my YouTube thing for it.
Right.
Yeah. If you want to know the name of the EP, it's called In My Own Dimension. And if I can find the art, I'll pop it up on the screen. Yes, I'm making my editing job more difficult.
Nice. So it's called English. It's called In Your Own Dimension. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah.
Is it based off Rick and Morty or something?
I could do that.
Are you going to now that I said it?
It's an idea. What if I have a song called Rick and Morty?
That'd be complete stealing.
Really?
Yeah, because it'd just be called Rick and Morty.
There's songs called Rick and Morty.
That's so you'd be stealing the name of the song.
There are multiple songs that go by the same name.
Yeah, exactly. They want to be original. And you are clearly an original channel here.
Yeah, that's why nobody watches. Nice. Anyway,
No way no one watches my content?
we get around the same views.
Now.
I'm pretty sure once this comes out,
Back when you did the trendy stuff, you got views.
trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
Such as. Well, my most viewed
I
video
don't think
is
that
a
needs to be
Sims.
explained what you were doing now.
My most viewed video is a Sims 4 video. It's at
That's not what I'm
40,000
talking about.
views.
And even then, you can't even explain that video either.
It's at 40,000 views for some reason.
And doesn't it still climb?
Yeah. So maybe it's at 42,000 views. Who knows?
Regardless, I was thinking.
People generally think.
What?
People generally think. It's a basic human function.
Sometimes I just really hate you.
I mean, that's just everyone's response to me.
But I was thinking that perhaps I could bring speedrunning back to my channel.
Alright.
Because I'm not sure if you've noticed, but it kind of lost itself away from my channel.
Yeah.
The last time I did a proper speedrun thing that wasn't the Fury speedrun, it was Titan Souls speedrun that was being streamed on Twitch.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
I want to say straight 2018.
No. Yeah, 2019. 2019 is when I started streaming on Twitch.
Alright.
Actually, I want 2019 or 2020. One of the two. Probably 2019.
Possibly late 2019.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I want to bring it back because I'm 100% sure that I've probably lost some of my edge in speedrunning, but also because I realized that I really like speedrunning still. Because obviously I like talking about speedrunning, and I really enjoy like the concept of speedrunning, but also like I talked about how persevering you can do that more and stuff you enjoy.
Right.
But like I typically have done stuff with speedrunning that revolves around a lot of glitches. Like Portal and Portal 2, both those speedruns, even in Portal 1, has a lot of glitches. Like Portal Inbounds is the Portal run that I do, because I don't do Portal Bound or Portal Inbounds SLA. I do Portal Bound Inbounds, which isn't save load use, which is the less glitchy version, believe it or not. Because there isn't no version of Portal that is glitchless, a glitchless speedrun. I'm sure glitchless speedruns exist, but there's no like actual like category of speedrun, at least on the speedrun website that I use, that has that category. It's just inbounds SLA, out of bounds, and uh, that's it.
You know, you know.
Yeah. And in Portal 2, it's, I believe, glitchless, glitches, and that's it. I honestly think that's it. I can't remember.
Really?
Yeah, but there is also obviously there is also the co-op thing you can do, and you can even do co-op solo if you want.
Huh.
It is possible to do solo. It
It's
takes
possible.
a lot of skill and a lot of speed, but it's possible. But both of
Nice.
those games take a lot of glitches. And even getting over it with Bennett Foddy, which I'm probably pretty good at for your average player. Well, excuse me. While it doesn't take glitches, it has a lot of stuff that takes way too many repeated climbs for an average player to learn, unless they just sit there and mess around. And while repeated climbs will help with getting the gold pot, after that there's really no point. Unless you're actually actively trying to become a speedrunner at the game. In which case, it's probably better to just continue doing runs, because then you'll be able to learn the entire thing rather than one section.
I don't understand what somebody's done in 7 minutes.
What's that?
Getting over it.
As for Titan Souls, I was actually doing really good in that speedrun, until it came to very specific bosses, which I already knew that I was going to have a hard time with. The actual thing I crumbled against was the final boss, which I don't understand how I beat it in the first place. Like, I honestly didn't understand how I beat it in my Let's Play. I have it on my channel.
Yeah.
Check it out if you want. I have the full Let's Play of the game on my channel. And I'm actually thinking about... Yeah, it actually is one of my first Let's Plays. And I'm actually thinking about possibly returning back to it for, like, one of the challenge modes that it has in it. Because it has, like, a hard mode, a no-roll mode, and stuff like that. But I don't think I've done any of those modes. But still.
Titan Souls Part 1 is almost 4 years old.
Yeah. Doing YouTube for that long, man.
That's not even your first Let's Play either.
I know, my first Let's Play is still my intro video on YouTube.
Believe Part 1, no commentary. Yeah, it's over 4 years old.
Yeah.
I actually told you to do your third Let's Play, which was Minecraft.
Which I never even finished.
Yeah, you did 2 episodes.
Because I really did not want to do that. I felt like it was way too generic.
Yeah. My bad.
I feel like if I do a Minecraft Let's Play, it has to be with someone. Because I feel like Minecraft Let's Plays on your own is just way too boring.
Yeah.
It needs to have someone for it to feel like it has any sort of substance. Yeah, when I did the Fury speedrun, before I started Let's Playing Fury, I got the, I guess you could say, rush. I mean, Fury in general is a typically fast-paced game. But I got the rush of what it feels like to speedrun again. Even though it was a much different game than any of those other ones. I got the feel and, like, thought process of, like, I should probably get back into it. I should record myself speedrunning again. Because I didn't ever take off the software to speedrun. So, like, it was obvious that I never lost the thought or will of wanting to speedrun. I just kind of stopped doing it for some reason.
Now, how exactly do you do speedruns?
How exactly do you do speedruns? It's obvious what the intention is. You just beat the game as fast as possible, so long as you're timing yourself. If you'll obviously want to make sure you have the guidelines right in terms of when you start and stop the timer, because depending, yeah, English is hard.
English is hard.
Because depending on what website you're submitting it to, they might vary on where you start and stop the timer. I typically like to specify exactly where I start and stop my timer. Because I feel like for Portal 1 and Portal 2, I don't start and stop my timer in the exact same place as other people. mainly in Portal 1, I feel like I don't start and stop my timer at the same place as other people. Because I believe in Portal 1, everyone starts the timer when Chell starts waking up, rather than when she stands, which is where I do it. Because everyone seems to do it when she starts waking up and does the animation to get up. Well, I do it when her feet hit the ground, when I'm able to move. Because everyone does it when she starts waking up, because that's when the clock in the actual thing starts ticking down from 60. But I don't do it from there because like it doesn't first of all it doesn't really affect much. And second of all, if they need to recount it, it's not gonna really affect much.
Right.
And also, I'm not that good at the game, so it's not like I'm gonna be getting in the tens or even the top 100. Literally, when I posted my last portal in my only portal uh, speedrun submission into the speedrun records, it was around 670s until it started getting ranked down and ranked down. And then it was off the rankings. Like off the actual visual rankings because it was so bad. And yeah, like I said, it was one of my worst records. It wasn't my worst. I do have a worse record actually logged because I like to keep most of my records logged. But it was not my worst record in existence. My worst record in existence for Portal was like almost 38 minutes. And this was like a 34-minute record. And typically my Portal records at this rate are like 27 minutes. So it just goes to show you how bad that speedrun actually was. But to be fair, I was dying a lot, so I was wasting quite a bit of time. Because every loading screen is just a repeated, like, 1 or 2 seconds of waiting, and then having to get back to wherever you were. So it's probably like, depending on how far it was, average of 5 to 10 seconds of waiting. So it definitely piles.
Exactly.
But if you want to speed run, all it takes is practice. And obviously know-how of the game. Like, you could probably try practicing Portal 2 speedrunning after you've completed Portal 2 once. All you have to do is remember how to beat the puzzles and you're good. Even if you don't know how to do any glitches or any fast tricks, that doesn't matter. You don't have to know any of that. Literally, you can just beat it without any of those tricks. That's what I did when I first tried it, and I beat it in about 5 hours. And even then, I wasn't timing myself with any sort of program. I was just using my clock. So even then, that estimate might have been higher than it actually was. It might have been lower than it actually was.
I remember I have scrapped one speedrun. It was a Learn to Fly island.
Oh yeah, I remember
the
that.
recording failed. Obviously, there'd be no evidence. So,
And what was it?
I think it was along the lines of, I want to say between 40 and 60 hours.
I'm not talking about the actual length. I'm talking about what rank would you have gotten.
Wait, no, it was 6 hours. Okay, yeah, it was 6 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it was 40 and 60 hours.
Because we did it all in one night. Looking at the speedrun.com.
Because Learn to Fly Idle is a very, very, very short game. As you know, it's a flash game.
Yeah. I would have got between 8th and 9th place. So
A fair bit, but
yeah.
they probably would have been like, no, we can't put this up because you did not film the whole thing. Which, I mean, is fair. Because I know you did only whip out the recording software, like, when you were, I think, at the space section. Because I told you that's when the game was about to end.
Right, and I didn't even have the speedrun thing installed. Mind you,
Live
the game
split.
actually has its own.
Yeah, it has its own timer, so it's not like it really matters, but the timer only counts seconds.
Well, someone has to do some math.
Yeah, but the game also has a thing, an achievements menu that tells you, like, increments of milestones of how long you've been playing, and the biggest one is 8 hours. So people will know if someone's actually breached the 8-hour one.
Right.
And the answer is obviously no if you don't have the achievement.
I don't. I believe that's the only achievement I don't have.
But yeah. So do you think you could get into speedrunning?
Yeah.
What types of games?
Well, first of all, I want to start out on some easy speedruns. So what were some easy speedruns?
I mean, you have Portal 2.
Bro, I haven't even played the game by itself.
That's because you literally don't really even play it. You need to take the time to play it and attempt the puzzles to try and beat the game, sir.
I don't have that.
You have plenty of free time. You cannot sit here.
I
And
mean,
tell me
I
you
don't
have
have
free
that
time.
capacity.
We've been recording this video for an hour.
I don't have that capacity of mental state.
Capacity of mental state. I told you.
I don't
It
understand the
doesn't matter
puzzles.
mental state. It's called perseverance.
I don't understand the puzzles.
You don't have an open mind to understand the puzzles. You need to open your mind and look with your third eye.
What kind of black magic?
It's not called black magic. It's called aperture science. It's also called Black Mesa.
So close.
But, yeah. I don't know any other games you might have that you could speedrun, but this is obviously not a viable option. You only have over 200 hours in it.
It would be hard to speedrun.
Literally play it.
Wait, I wonder if it even does have a speedrun thing.
Probably not. It's still in early access, so it's not a finished title.
I'm checking.
It probably needs to be a finished title to even have a speedrun thing. I'm trying to think. What would be a good game that you have to speedrun?
I don't really have any like speedrunning type games on my Steam.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'll have to buy something.
Because, like, it can be games where, like, you have to unlock the next areas by, like, doing something for a period of time. Or, like, filling a point thing, you know?
Yeah.
Because then, like, they'd be behind, like, a paywall or a time barrier.
Right.
And that makes it to where, like, there are obviously speedruns that exist of these games, but they aren't very viable. Like, for instance, mini motorways. That's not a very viable Let's Play. And also, you already have all the things unlocked, so it wouldn't really exist anyway. Because you could literally just go to the last place. So I'm not sure if you read the update, but they're actually planning on adding more places and game modes. Just like with Mini Metro.
Alright. I only have like, I don't know, maybe a solid 40 hours in that game. I'm not sure.
I don't know. We'll look at some of your games you have and some you might be able to get.
You now have access to the podcast channel, so if you find any comments, let me know.
If I find any comments?
Like if anyone comments what to download. and/or buy.
Yeah, so if you guys have any suggestions for what you want to see him speedrun, go ahead and comment them down below because he will. I'll force him to. I'll force him to learn how to speedrun it. I'll help him out, and yeah.
And if somehow I get a #1 position, I'm putting it in my
That's
Twitter
never gonna
bio.
happen.
I'm gonna put it in my Twitter bio.
#1 speedruns are really intense people.
I am not intense. But if it does
I
somehow...
don't mean like intense people as in like they're really like, you know, hardcore. I mean they're hardcore in the fact that like, you know, they're hardcore gamers. I meant like they're not hardcore in terms of the fact like they'll rip your head off. They're just like, yeah. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this podcast. We've been going at it for over an hour now. So yeah. Any closing words?
Mimikyu looks at you while you sleep.
He does. So yeah, expect possible Apex Legends collaborations in the future. And like I said, comment down below stuff that you want to see him speedrun because I will force him to learn it, and he will buy it if it costs money.
Like, scribble, and give me your mom's phone number. Have a nice day. Peace.